Flosstube, this is Veronica with Night Stitch, and I have a Flosstube update. Hey, today is Thursday, February 13th, so it's Flosstube day. I spent the morning putting a few hundred stitches in 3 of the weekly pulls that I did, because this week has been snow and more snow and more snow. So I've been having to shovel my driveway and my front walk like every other day. So, yeah, okay. Whips. My first whip is Patrick Bateman. This is by Cat's Cross Stitchery on Etsy. I'm doing this on 25 count vintage. No, I always say vintage. It's just water sapphire. And I'm doing it 2/1 full cross. And this is the entire piece. And I have, he'll fit on half, so that's what I have now. I added that little black chunk up in the left here. This is the top left. I'm not stitching the blue background. I just went and got a blue fabric instead. This one is messy, but I'm trying to clear that up. So now that I've gotten to the top left, I'm gonna have an easier time cleaning it up. So this is a restart because when I bought this pattern in 1510, this was one of the first patterns that I bought when I started stitching as an adult, and I started it on 18 count Aida, and I stitched it for a while, and then I was kind of getting annoyed with the fabric, so I changed to 25 count Lugana, and then I decided I didn't like plain white fabric. Also, I was watching a movie that needed subtitles, and I don't know why I picked that when I was stitching, because I can't read the screen and concentrate on my stitching. So I was stitching on the other fabric with Patrick Bateman, and I messed up by 1 stitch, and I was like, there's no way I can fix that and have his face, like, there's no way I can not fix that and not have his face look crazy. So I decided instead of frogging it, I would restart. So this is the restart of that. So let's see. So I restarted it on May 1st, 2024. And I have no record of the other times when I started this, like on the Aida or on the white Lugana. So I'm just gonna go with May 1st, 2024 is the start date, because it is for this blue one. So it's 226 high by 198 wide, and it's 44,748 stitches. That's with the background, so mine will be less. So this was a Whip Go pull for last year, so 2024. And my goal for that was to put 1,000 stitches in it, which I did. I actually put in 1,001 stitches because I finished the thread off, and that got me to 2.24%. When I pulled it out this time, I put in 100 more stitches as I set up in here, And so now it's got 1,101 stitches, and it is at 2.46%. And the stitches remaining are 43,647. So this one will go back in the bin of whips, and it will wait 1 week until it's eligible for pulling again. Whip 2 is Dragon. This is by Author Embroid Design on Etsy. I'm doing this on A Dance of Autumn by Fiberlicious. It's 32 count Lugana. And I worked on this in January, the last time you saw it. And I had put 1,000 stitches in. But in January, I only had to put 8 stitches in to get it to 1,000. So now, this is what it looks like upside down. This is what it looks like right side up. This is 2/2. And I really like how it looks on the fabric, because the color really just pops off. So it started in the middle, so that's the dragon's like leg here, and then his foot, and then his other hand, I guess. Hand and feet. I don't know. Dragons have legs. Do they have hands and feet? I don't know. Okay. This pattern is 172 high by 130 wide. It has 13,840 stitches. I wonder if I hold it over here. I don't know. Does it matter? Whatever. Let's see. Last time I showed you, it had 1,275 stitches. Now it has 1,375 stitches, and I put 100 more stitches in around here. I filled in here, and then I did this black, and then I kind of went around until I hit 100. And it's at 1,375 stitches now. It's 9.93% complete, and I have 12,465 stitches left. Whip number 3 is my temperature chart. This is the Skyline Temperature by Zara Design Studio, and I'm caught up to date with writing the temperatures down from yesterday. So I still need to write today's wind chill, and I have stitched up until this date here, the 8th, for the stitching. So I'm doing it on this Molten Magic by Fiberlicious. It's 32 count Lugana. And I'm doing this 2/2. This is the fabric. And this is 205 high by 205 wide when it's done. And February started the way the pattern is charted. You go from the last day of January right here, and then you go down here, and then you go back this way. So that's why it is on the opposite side of where I started, which is the top left. So This is 42,025 stitches total. My goal was to do one cute building every day in 2025, and as long as I was gonna try to finish the month within the month. So as I showed you before, I did not stitch for a couple of days, but I'm counting that as my goal is still in progress. Like I didn't fail it or anything like that. The last time that I showed you this, I had 1,957 stitches in it, and it was at 4.66%. And now it has 270 more stitches, and it's got 2,227 stitches total. It's at 5.30% complete, and it's got 37,841 stitches left. Okay, this one is bacon and eggs. This is my Mill Hill kit. It's 36 high by 36 wide. And my goal is to put 1,000 stitches in it. And I did not know like the total amount of stitches because it's not full coverage, but I just did 36 times 36, so 1,296 stitches is the total that is calculated. I actually finished all the cross stitching in this, and that's what it looks like now. So everything cross stitching wise is done. So the next time I work on this, I will be beading. And I put in a total of 199 stitches in February, and it has 741 stitches. So the cross stitching is 741. I am going to count beading as a stitch, so every time I put one bead in, I will count it as another stitch. So now it's got 57.18% complete, and it has 555 stitches left. Oh, and that's 3/1 on 14 count perforated paper. This one is my Savior's Words. It's an imaginating pattern designed by Connie Abel. I'm doing this on Memories in the Rain by Fiberlicious. It's 32 count Lugana. And I'm doing it 2/2. So my goal for this was to finish one phrase and one floral set, because there's flowers that are kind of gathered together, interspersed between all the words. So I finished the phrase right here, this one here, and it says, "I myself will raise you up on the last day." I changed the color to something darker because it was gonna blend in with my fabric. I actually I'm talking weird. I actually tripped up on my words. This sheep here, I was actually gonna get the sheep like right up here. I was actually gonna try to finish the sheep, but I ran out of 739, So I couldn't quite finish the sheep. Like, he's almost done, but I ran out of 739, so his head is not done. So I was like, okay, well, I can't finish the sheep. So I changed my goal to one floral set. So I did this set of flowers over here. And I changed one of the colors. This blue here, this like pop of blue, is the color I changed because once again it was going to blend into my fabric with the color that they had charted, so I changed it. Oh, okay. This one. I have my stuff in like 2 different places, which was probably not a great idea, but here we are. Pocahontas. Mucha inspired Pocahontas by Nenny Design on Etsy is my next whip. And I'm doing this on Maldivian Dreams by Fiberlicious. It's 32 count Lugana. And my goal is to put 1,000 stitches in it, which I'm still working on. This is the whole fabric here. It's a gradient, so blue sky, green grass was my idea because she's walking. So I have page 1 done minus the yellow background because I didn't want to stitch that. And I came over to, I had this chunk of her hair done, and so I decided I would just follow it up and get to the top of her head. So what I have added is the top of her head and a little bit of her face. I was doing her face 1/1, and the rest of it I'm doing 2/2. So I have that. It is 321 high by 195 wide. It is 62,595 stitches if I do it full coverage. I put in 506 stitches over 2 days, and it's at 4,147 stitches now. It's at 6.63% complete, and it has 58,448 stitches left. So I'm about halfway to 1,000 for the goal. Okay, I put my Arctic animals in this bag instead of my Paris because it fits better. I just got it from like TJ Maxx or something. This is Arctic Animals Club Stitch Along by Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. And I'm doing it on Ashes to Ashes by Fiberlicious. It's 32 count Lugana. My goal was to finish clue 9 before clue 10 comes out, which I did. Clue 10 actually comes out today, and I finished clue 9 on February 7th. So it's upside down and backwards. This is the fabric here, and the clue 9 was the polar bear. So he's done now. And I changed his eye color and the font on the label. Everything else is the same. This is 166 high by 126 wide. It has 20,916 stitches. I did 501 stitches in February, and I worked on this for 2 days in February, and it now has 12,094 stitches in it. It's 57.82% complete, and it has 8,822 stitches remaining. So I have been able to keep up with this stitch along. And and my ultimate goal is really to keep up on it for the entire time and then actually finish a stitch along. So Clue 10 came out today, so I will probably work on that a little bit today. Okay. This one is in my project bag from Pop-Up Stitcher on Etsy. And this is a Maleshka kit called Visit London. And it was done, or they gave you 16 count 8/0 to go with it, which I am not using, but I am using the floss that came with it, which is DMC floss. And I have it on my Q-snap because this is one that I wanted to keep working on this week because I realized it was Thursday and I hadn't worked on my weekly poll, 3 of my weekly polls, so I decided that I would do that today. So I actually worked on Patrick Bateman and the dragon and this one today, and I was gonna put 100 stitches in this one, but I didn't get that far because it was like getting to be 1 o'clock, and I was like, I still need to start like setting up for Flosstube videos, so I should just do the rest later. So I ended up putting 52 stitches in this today, and I calculated it has 14,000 stitches total. It's 100 high by 140 wide, and right now it has 1,613 stitches in it. And it's at 11.52%, and it has 12,387 stitches left. Oh. Hang on, I'm looking for the fabric for the fabric label so I can show you. And I might sneeze. Or not. Watch me sneeze when I'm trying to talk. So this is 32 count Lugana. It's Rose Taupe by Fiberlicious. And that's what I replaced the fabric with. And the pattern fits on half of it, so that's why it's in my Q-snap like that, and also why I have started in the top left corner, because I rarely ever do that unless there's a reason. This is my new start for this week. You can still see it. Okay. This is the Christmas advent calendar. No, you know what? I am gonna do this so you can see it better. The Christmas advent calendar by Doreen Jones, and I'm doing this here. Obviously, these are done. This is day 7. So I started this one. I just counted over a little bit because I'm going to cut these apart and put them on envelopes, and so I didn't really need that much space in between. So if I cut right here and then I put like scrapbook paper when I put them on envelopes, it'll be fine. So that's why that's kind of close together, but why I don't care that it is. So this one I started on February 10th because I realized, hey, I need to start these things like I had planned. So I put 200 stitches into it. So now it's at 18.18% complete, and it has 900 stitches remaining approximately, because all of these are charted to be 44 high by 25 wide, although they're not all the same, so they don't cover the same amount of like area, so everything is an approximate guess. So 1,100 is usually what I start with as the guess, and then as I keep stitching I figure out what it actually is. So this was done on Frosty Mint by Fiberlicious. It's 32 count Lugana, and I changed some of the colors because I didn't have some of the DMC and it didn't really matter to me that much. So the red in here, you can see it's a little bit variegated. It's Carrie's Creations. I don't know what the color name is. And there's a green in here that I didn't have, so I just used Iris 963, I think. Yeah, I used this for the green. Okay, so those are all the whips. So now I'm going to talk about some of the games that I played. Alright, so let's see, where did I put that here? So I didn't work on my February whip go this week, so I don't have that, but I have this saving shopping thing that I got from Stitchy Stitches on Flosstube, and that has there. Okay. So I decided last time that I was going to use multiple whips to fulfill the kitting up goal. So I decided my full coverages were gonna be eligible for this. So this week I worked on 2 full coverages. I worked on Mucha inspired Pocahontas and Patrick Bateman. So I wrote down here, I did 400 stitches on Pocahontas and 100 stitches on Patrick Bateman. Now, 1 skein of floss is 100 stitches, so I started off with 90 colors because my goal is to get something off of my Heaven and Earth Designs wish list, and I usually get the regular color, regular size hate, so approximately 89 to 90 colors is what it is charted, so I just put 90. So last week I had 8,500 stitches that I had done, so I had 85 colors left to save up for. So this week I added 500, yeah, 1, 2, 3, yes, 400 plus 100 is 500. I'm trying to figure out what color I should use. I'll use pink. So 8,500. I did 500, so then I have 8,000 left to save up for the colors. Okay, so my total, I decided on this marker or this paper checklist that I was just gonna update the total here and not like this stuff. But I would update it on here, showing you guys as I almost dropped the board because So I have 10,200 left. So that is saving shopping. So now we have to pull my whips for next week. Egyptian queen. Squeeze the day. Looking to see if my microphone is like super loud or not, and it's not, so not that that matters to you guys, but I was just telling you while I was looking down. Portrait of Veronica. Cozy Cafe. His cross. So those are my whips. So I'm gonna go get them and I'll show you what they are, and then we can pull my new starts. I have Egyptian Queen by Jan Patrick Krasny. This is Heaven and Earth Designs. And this pattern is no longer available like this, but you can get the full pattern called Queen of the Nile. No, Queen of the Leopards on their website still. This is a bag I got from TJ Maxx. This is Vintage Country Mocha. I got it from 123 Stitch, and it's a Zweigart printed fabric, so it's got solid on this side and looks like sand on this side, which is why I picked it for her. And that's the whole thing. And this is what I have now. So that's what I'll be working with. This is Portrait of Veronica by Mirabilia. I am using Monster Mash by Picture This Plus. And it's 32 count Lugana. And And that is what I am gonna be starting with. This one is Squeeze the Day by Everything Cross Stitch. I got it in like a subscription box, which you can get quarterly, and it's not recurring. So if you go to their website and you want to be notified when they have a box, you can sign up for their email list specifically about the box, and they will let you know. And they always make a video to tell you what's in the box, so it's not really a surprise unless you want to be surprised. But when you get one, they always give you coupons, which is kind of fun to use. And then they give you other kinds of cross-stitch tools. Forgot to say the fabric when I was showing you this. It's 14 count white Verona. This is a dishcloth. And the box came with the fabric and the thread and the needle and all that. So I have this. This one is Cozy Cafe by Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. I'm doing it on April Showers by Fiberlicious. It's 28 count Opal Lugana. And this is what I have. And the last whip that I pulled is His Cross by Janlin. It's a kit. I'm using Under the Sea fabrics. It's called Naiad, and it's 32 count Lugana. That's my starting point. Now I'm gonna pull my new starts. Tina had mentioned that she would have liked to see the vintage coffee grinder start last week. However, I did not get to start it. I did, however, manage to find a fabric for it, so I reserved that in my notes to make sure that I don't use that fabric for something else. So now if I pull that again, I won't be doing that this week because it was last week's pull and I didn't put it in here. But I'm just saying that the next time that that gets pulled, I will have a fabric for it, so that'll make it a little easier to start if I don't need to kind of take a few minutes and contemplate what fabric I need. So thank you, Tina, for the suggestion that you would like to see that one. Digging down in here. There's a lot of them, so I was trying to pull it out without dumping everything on the table. 4th of July rules. Choco Dipped Strawberry. That one's a repull. I got that one of these times. Town Square, Mill Hill. Coffee Talk. Route 66 Farm Stand. This was a kit I showed you guys last week that I was really excited about. Okay, I will get all the things and then I will come and show you what they look like. Okay, Choco Dipped Strawberry is a free pattern, well, was a free pattern from Daily Cross Stitch. So I say was because if you subscribe to their newsletter, every day they send you like a reminder to go look at their website to see what the free pattern is, but it changes every day. So it's just a little strawberry that has been dipped in chocolate. So, okay, this is my Route 66 Farm Stand. It's a kit by Design Works. I repackaged it because I wanted to see what the fabric was, because I wanted to see if I had anything big enough or if I had to order something. And it turns out I do have fabric that's big enough, because it fits on a 14 count fat quarter approximately piece of Aida. And I have a lot of fat quarters that are 16 count, so it'll definitely fit, because 16 count will make your pattern smaller than 14 count. So that's Route 66 Farm Stand. This is the Town Square Mill Hill kit. This is part of the Main Street series, and I love it. And it kind of fits that I have finished the stitching for my bacon and eggs. So this would be like the replacement Mill Hill kit. And I just got it by random. How cool is that? This one is Coffee Talk. It's by Pickle Barrel Designs, and I got this from my LNS, and apparently it's 2 patterns. So one of them is a lot like the one Jen, the Caffeinated Crafter, stitched about chocolate, because it says coffee doesn't ask silly questions, coffee understands. And her pattern was the same thing, but it just said chocolate instead of coffee. And then I didn't look at the other one. Says you are the sugar to my coffee. And when I put this in my shaker, I didn't remember that it was 2 patterns. So if I stitch it, guess I'll surprise you with whichever one I start. I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. My new starts thing has a lot of them, so I don't know if I really want to add one more right now because it's really full. So this is 4th of July Rules by Primrose Cottage. It's designed by Lindsay Waite. And my favorite holiday is 4th of July, so that is why I got this. Okay, those are all the new starts, and I think that's all I have for today. So yeah, I'm still trying to hash out the details of the game that I'm gonna play with my Stitch Mania stuff. I think I might do like a trial run because it's a board game, so might do like a trial run to see what I like and how I want to assign things and all of that. So yeah, anyway, I'll think more on that, and I just didn't want to introduce it too early and then feel like I couldn't start it, or I don't know. It doesn't matter. Thank you guys for watching, liking, subscribing, and commenting, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.